Bears fans, buckle up. Because what Ben Johnson is doing right now in Chicago isn't just good, it's shocking the entire NFL. From the moment he walked into Hallis Hall, the energy flipped, the offense exploded, and suddenly the Bears are sitting on top of the NFC North like they belong there. And now, the whole league is talking, because Ben Johnson is pushing his way into the Coach of the Year spotlight. Chicago's offense is firing in 3 of the 4 major categories, the confidence is real, and the national recognition is growing louder every single week. People across the league, analysts, insiders, even rival fan bases, are starting to say it: Ben Johnson might be building something special. But before we go deeper into just how wild this rise has been, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and tap the bell icon so you never miss a Bears update. It really helps the channel grow and keeps these videos coming your way. Now, let's talk about the numbers, because they don't lie. Johnson took over a team that was searching for identity, belief, and direction, and somehow, in his very first season as a head coach, he has the Bears playing like a fully formed contender. Meanwhile, other candidates like Mike Vrabel have the advantage of experience, years of building their system, and established culture. But Johnson? He walked in on day one and changed everything fast. That's why major outlets like ESPN and CBS now have him ranked in the top 3 for Coach of the Year, with some even placing him at number 1. The respect is real, and it's only growing. And trust me, the story gets even better from here. So stay with me, because what comes next might surprise you. When you step back and really look at what Ben Johnson has pulled off in such a short amount of time, it almost doesn't feel real. 7 wins in his first 10 games as a head coach, numbers the Bears haven't seen from a rookie leader since Matt Nagy's hot start back in 2018. But the difference this time is the foundation feels stronger, steadier, and way more sustainable. Chicago now sits inside the top 10 in multiple major offensive categories, and a huge part of that comes from the growth we're seeing across the roster. Caleb Williams is becoming more poised, more controlled, and more dangerous every week. The offensive line, once a constant problem, suddenly looks organized and confident after the coaching shakeup. Everything is clicking, and it's happening fast. When you compare Johnson to other rookie coaches over the years, the numbers get even more impressive. Since 2015, some of the best first-year records have actually come from coaches inside the NFC North. Nagy hit 12-4. Kevin O'Connell came out swinging. Matt LaFleur exploded onto the scene. And now, Ben Johnson has planted himself right in that same territory with a .700 winning percentage out of the gate. That's elite company. What makes his rise even more remarkable is how seamlessly he shifted from being one of the league's top assistants to running an entire franchise. Last year, he was recognized as the NFL's Assistant Coach of the Year for his work with Detroit. This year, he's elevating quarterbacks again, except now he's doing it while running the whole operation. Just look at Caleb Williams' progression. Over 2,300 passing yards already. Nearly 60% completion, not perfect, but improving. 13 touchdowns to just 4 interceptions. A strong 7.2 yards per attempt. And the rushing threat? Johnson hasn't just allowed Caleb to use his legs, he's weaponized it. Almost 300 rushing yards, over 4 yards a carry, 3 rushing touchdowns, and a pile of clutch first downs. Caleb isn't putting up monster 350-yard stat lines every week, but you can see the design. Johnson is building him the right way: smart, steady, efficient, and fully in command of the offense. And when you remember where this team was a year ago, mistakes everywhere, chaos up front, no rhythm, no confidence, it really drives home just how massive this turnaround has been. And trust me, the next part makes the transformation look even bigger. Stay with me. Last season, Caleb Williams looked like a young quarterback trying to survive. Forced throws, missed reads, holding the ball too long, everything felt difficult. But under Ben Johnson, those bad habits are fading fast. Caleb is learning when to take a risk, when to live for the next play, and when to simply throw the ball away. That's maturity. That's growth. And you could feel the difference in the Vikings game. Yes, Chicago won, but Caleb walked off that field frustrated. He wanted more from himself. He expected better. That spark, that accountability, that fire? That's the mark of a quarterback who's beginning to understand the standards of a winning franchise. And somehow, despite having his 4th play caller in just 2 seasons, Caleb is playing his cleanest, smartest football yet. That alone speaks volumes about Johnson's impact. Look at the progress. Caleb is nearly on pace to surpass last year's passing total. He's trending toward almost 4,000 yards, the touchdown-to-interception ratio is significantly steadier, and the number of first downs he's creating is climbing. Even the rushing production is rising, more designed runs, more confidence, more trust. He's on pace for a career high in rushing touchdowns, and the Bears are beginning to use his athleticism as a weapon rather than a last resort. The numbers aren't perfect, but the improvement is undeniable. The command is better. The efficiency is better. The poise is better. This is exactly what the Bears hoped for when they brought in Ben Johnson: real development, real leadership, and real direction for the future of this team. And what comes next? That's where things get even more interesting, so stay with me, because the next part reveals just how much this team has changed under Johnson's watch. When you stack the Bears' offensive numbers from this season against last year's totals, it almost feels like you're looking at two completely different franchises. Right now, Chicago sits near the top of the league in multiple major categories: 4th in total yards per game, 2nd in rushing, 8th in scoring, and climbing fast in passing production. These aren't small steps forward. These are leaps. Now compare that to where this team was just one season ago: dead last in yards, near the bottom in passing, struggling in scoring, and a run game that couldn't stay consistent. Under Ben Johnson, the Bears didn't just improve, they exploded forward. A jump of nearly 30 spots in total offense. A massive climb in rushing efficiency. More big plays, more first downs, more sustained drives, and a level of rhythm this team hasn't had in years. And think about this: the Bears are averaging roughly 80 more yards per game than they did last year. That's almost an entire football field of extra offense every week. That alone can flip a team's season. The difference shows up everywhere. Last year, Chicago could go entire quarters, sometimes entire games, without building any momentum. This year, they're striking early, moving the chains, and keeping the defense from getting worn down. Even the passing attack, which is still growing and still adjusting to a young quarterback, is producing noticeably more. Caleb Williams has a sturdier line in front of him, a smarter system behind him, and the freedom to use both his arm and his legs. And despite learning yet another playbook, he's throwing for over 40 more yards per game. This is what real development looks like. This is what a true offensive identity feels like. And this is why the Bears' turnaround isn't a fluke, it's a reflection of coaching, structure, and belief. And trust me, the next piece of this transformation might be the most impressive of all. Stay with me, what makes this offense so exciting is that we haven't even seen the full version of it yet. Caleb Williams is already making smart, efficient throws, but the crazy part is that he's only 10 games into working with Ben Johnson. The ceiling is nowhere close to being reached. Chicago is gaining over 40 more rushing yards per game than last season. That's 4 extra first downs. 4 extra chances to flip momentum. 4 extra opportunities to control the pace of the game. When a team can run the ball and throw the ball with equal confidence, that's when an offense becomes dangerous. And the staff Johnson assembled? That might be one of his biggest strengths. The addition of Eric Bieniemy, someone with real championship experience, has transformed the run game. It's rare to have someone with his resume coaching your running backs, and the improvement shows. The Bears are also scoring a full touchdown more per game. Think about how many heartbreakers Chicago lost last season by one score. Games that slipped away by inches. This year, it's been the complete opposite. The Bears are closing games. 5 game-winning drives already, something that simply didn't happen a year ago. And you can feel the momentum in every part of the offense. The line is finally gelling. Caleb is distributing the ball to everyone, DJ doing what DJ always does, Rome catching fire, Loveland making the most of every opportunity, KMD stepping up, and the Swift-Khalil combo becoming one of the most reliable backfields in the league. This group is just getting started, and yet the production already looks like that of a polished, established unit. But the numbers aren't the biggest change. It's the culture. Players are talking openly about how much they trust Ben Johnson, how his intensity fuels them, how his belief in them makes them believe in each other. Leaders on this team say it themselves, they're bought in. They're fighting for him. That's when a team becomes more than a roster, it becomes a force. Yes, Mike Vrabel is having a strong season too. Drake May has the league buzzing. And sure, the Coach of the Year race will come down to wins, losses, and narrative. But when you look at impact, pure, undeniable, immediate impact, Ben Johnson has transformed the Bears faster than anyone expected. In one offseason, he rebuilt an identity that fans have been waiting years to see. Whether the award goes to him or someone else, one thing is certain: this is only the beginning of what he's building in Chicago. And trust me, the future gets even more exciting from here.